but I believe it might be jammed of some sort. The actual needle won't go up and down.
Sure.
It seems to not want to move at all. And I tried to like manually move it. That does not help. It's stuck. It is like, I don't want to push it any harder in fear if I'm going to break something.
When's the last time you oiled it?
I have never oiled it.
Yeah, you got to oil it.
I didn't know that there was oil.
Yeah. You got to oil it probably every few months or every couple of uses.
Okay.
You can buy sewing machine oil. You can probably take the top off your machine, and you can put some oil on anything that looks like it should move.
Yep.
Hey,
I tried looking to see like how I could take the top off.
so we can help you with that, Aaron.
Okay.
Is the machine plugged? The machine is plugged in right now, huh?
No.
Oh,
But I
okay.
can plug it in real
So,
quick.
yeah.
I might have a very
So when you plug it in,
the same one. I'm not sure.
and you
It looks like it. Yeah,
Yep.
very similar.
Yep. and you turn it on, does it make noise? I mean, when you press
It's not a good noise.
it does make a noise.
It's like it's trying.
Well, let's hear it. Okay, so is it? Do you?
Until she
I
can
can't
move,
hear so well. Is it making a
unless she
spinning
can move
noise?
it manually, she shouldn't plug it in. Until she can turn it, it's possible the needle's at an angle. It's possible that something's like, let's pull it apart. Let's take out the bobbin thing underneath. Let's get her to rotate it manually with her hand before we power it up.
Peter, I'm guessing that this is not something that hasn't been done before. In other words, plugging it in. I'm thinking you took it out, plugged it in, it didn't work. Okay,
Yeah.
so the only thing I'm trying to do, a common thing that happens with these is on the right-hand side, there's a belt that slips off. And so what I was really asking, you can't see it, but there is a cover on the top of that 2 screws come out of. Or you could take the front apart.
Tried looking at the top and I didn't see
Yeah, so under the handle.
where any screws were.
Yep. If you flip that handle up.
Can she unplug it first, please?
Yep. If we're going to open it up.
If you have the same thing I do, you can see my video. There's a screw, I think, on the front cover here.
Right. So
Underneath the handle there is screws.
you have unplugged it, right?
Yes,
Okay.
it's definitely unplugged.
Yeah, just checking.
This might be much simpler. This might be much, much simpler.
Okay.
Can you just, wait, so you're saying you cannot move the needle, you cannot mechanically move it with the handle at all?
Nope.
With the knob?
It's stuck. I mean, I could maybe
Okay.
keep pushing, but I think
Yeah,
something.
okay. So is the needle still in the machine?
It is, and it does not appear to be crooked at all.
Okay, is the bobbin still in the machine underneath?
No, I took the bobbin out.
And it's still giving you a hard time?
Yep.
Okay, all right, thank you.
And when you try to start it, you're turning the knob in the back of it, right? To make it go, or are you trying to raise the needle by grabbing the needle and pushing it up and down?
Nope, I was just using the knob and
Okay.
just using the pedal, and both of those
Okay.
work.
All right.
What parts have you taken off of it? Have you taken the bottom off?
No.
Take the bottom off, open up the table and pull the bobbin out.
Right.
I pulled the bobbin out.
Okay.
Remove the needle, can you remove
Remove what?
the needle too? Just
Safety first,
just in case, well, and also just in
Just
case there
jam
is something,
Yep.
that'll help us figure something out.
Yep. So
I'm doing that right now. Okay, so my needle is out. And now trying to get the bottom off. Just a couple more screws.
There should be some doors or things that flop open on this machine on top.
What there are, David, is there's 2 screws and then the whole top of the machine lifts off.
Okay.
Kirsten, how much time do we have before the next person?
How much longer do you think that this will take? Just ballpark. We have 3 people waiting right now.
Can we do simultaneous?
Yep, we could do a breakout session.
That'd be a best idea.
Yeah.
Are you,
For sure.
Howard, are you feeling comfortable taking the first breakout session?
Well, I could.
What's the first breakout session? What's the problem?
We're going to create a breakout room for this sewing machine.
Okay.
And what she's asking is, who's interested in going into that breakout room? She was asking me for interest. Gary, I'm assuming that you're
Absolutely.
interested in doing that.
I have, I believe, the same machine as she does. So I think that would be
So
helpful.
It looks like
between the
it's-
2 of you, then you might be the best people to help her proceed with kind of troubleshooting this, and then we'll take the next person and see how that goes.
Sounds good to me.
So we're going to create a room, a breakout room called sewing machine.
Yeah.
We only have one.
Also, Howard, Harriet is
Yeah.
next in line. She's the one with the laptop.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I can move to the breakout room. I think I can do that. And then you could work with Harriet next.
We now set it up
We
straight.
can. You don't actually have to go to the breakout room
Okay.
unless you want to. You can create it and then place them in it.
Okay.
So
So I'll work on that. You guys just
Yep.
keep talking.
you'll work
amongst
on
yourselves.
creating
Yep.
a breakout room, and then
Yep.
we'll see who's the next person here that arrived.
The
Kirsten.
next person in line is H or Harriet. So I'll move Aaron and Ethan and
Gary, GT Bank.
GT Bank. Okay. And then okay, so we don't need to be in there with them, right?
Right.
Move me into the breakout room with Aaron too, please.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you, Peter.
Thanks, Peter. And
The bobbin
Ethan.
going from the top or the side?
Yep, I'm working on it.
Kristen, if you make us all co-hosts, then we can move around at will. And
Cool.
so that might
I'll
be
do
it.
that right
So-
now before I move you.
Okay.
Sorry, everybody.
Okay.
Have you here.
Doing a great job. Don't worry.
David, make co-host. Yes. Peter.
How do we move once we want to do that?
And I'll just open the room.
You'll get a pop-up, and when the pop-up, once you move into a breakout room as a co-host, then you can move back and in and out of all the breakout rooms as a co-host. All right. I'm in. See you
All
later.
right. See ya. Thank you.
Should I be joining the breakout?
Yep. Alrighty. Harriet, are you still there? Let's see here. I told her it would be a few minutes.
Looks like she left.
Okay. So next in line is Ray,
Is
the
Ray-
iPhone.
iPhone. Okay.
He's still on here. Yes. Hi, Ray.
Hi guys. I'm gonna go run to my garage here real quick.
Okay.
It's an air compressor.
Yes. And then Ray, will you be able to turn your camera
Yep.
on?
Yep, I can. Give me 1 second here.
Excellent. Hello there.
We're not looking at his iPhone, we're looking at his compressor.
Yes. He has an
correct.
air
Yeah.
compressor.
Okay, so it's this is the compressor here. Let me put my screen. So it's a hyper tough. It's not the most highest quality air compressor, but every time when I turn on the air compressor, it starts and fill up the air. But as soon as I plug anything into any air tool or any hose in here, or here, the air pressure just goes down to 0.
Have you tried a different hose?
I tried a different hose. I tried a different tool, plug in directly. does the same thing.
Can you hear any air leaking?
No, no air leaking. It just bursts air a little bit, and then it just brings that. It just piss, and then it just brings that the pressure down. The gauge shows that it goes down.
When you first plug it in, how long does it take for it to build up pressure?
It doesn't take long, maybe a few minutes, I would say, because this is a 6-gallon tank.
Sure.
And how high does it get?
It gets up to I think on this side it goes up to 150, but this is where the regulator is, right? I assume.
Right. Yep.
When I crank it, I can crank it down. Yep. I can crank it all the way up. I can go up to 150 on this side.
Sure.
As well. Yeah.
And you're finding that when you plug something in, it doesn't matter whether you have it set to 20 pounds or 100 pounds.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It just dumps the air.
Yeah, it just dumps the air, and then it just has a little piss, and then it just brings that pressure.
It sounds like you have a bad fitting. It sounds like the fitting that you're putting into that doesn't necessarily work with that hole. So there's 2 or 3 different kinds. They look very similar.
Okay.
And they'll latch in there maybe, but they won't necessarily hold air. That's the first. That'd be an easy thing to fix.
Oh, okay.
Having the right nipple to go in that hole.
Okay.
The second,
but they were working before.
They were.
They were working.
Okay.
Yeah, they were working way before until this.
So how many hoses have you tried?
I have tried couple hose, and I fit directly the tool in there as well.
So you have So
yeah.
The second thing that's possible is inside of there is sometimes a rubber O-ring that seals that keeps it sealed, and that may or may not be present.
Oh, okay.
But it does it on both valves, you're saying?
Yeah, on both. It just
it does.
It does on
that
both.
Makes no sense. Okay.
First off, you should not be able to plug your tool into that.
I should not be able to plug it in like this.
You can get it in there, but it's not going to work.
Oh, it's not going to work. Okay.
No, but
that's a valve.
Yeah, that's a valve. So
I wonder, is the thing really either filling up or dumping? Because if it takes X minutes to fill up and it's got a leak, it's not going to just suddenly dump all at once without hearing a big hiss. So I'm wondering if it's really not full. It's just that it's not coming out correctly.
Sure.
Why don't you turn it on and see what it does?
Yeah,
we've got the time. Sure.
That yellow hose next to you. Is that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's the hose.
Okay, why don't you get that out too?
It's going to be loud for a little while. Oh yeah, that front one is definitely a.
So is it plugged in now?
It's not climbing at all.
Is the compressor running?
It is running right now. I think we're trying to mute it because it's too loud.
I can't hear it at all, actually.
Yeah, the noise suppression on his phone is probably keeping it from us.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think the noise cancellation on his phone is keeping us from hearing it.
Okay.
So Ray, there's usually a bleed out valve at the bottom of the tank. Do you ever open and close that?
I do.
Okay, is it closed?
It is open. It is closed right now.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're not seeing your valve, your needle move.
Any pressure in the tank yet?
It's coming. It's moving.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
What was that hissing?
That's the noise cancellation kind of dripping in and out based on what it hears.
Why don't you're good now. Why don't you plug in your yellow hose? The
plug in
yellow
your
hole.
hose.
Yeah.
Not there.
Oh, no, that's not it. Other side.
The other side.
Yeah.
What am I?
They're both
No, that's not
even.
gonna work either.
Okay.
So you're saying that this is wrong?
No, try that.
Wait,
See what
so
happens.
what? Tell you what I see, guys. I see a nozzle stuck in that outlet, right? There shouldn't be a. Yeah. See, I think isn't that a nozzle? If you grab the outside of that, grab the back of that, move your hand a little further down the shaft. Yeah, push that. There you go. Now pull on that thing with the. Yep, and can you?
Pull this guy.
If you have to put the phone down, push on that collet and pull on the nozzle. It looks like there's a nozzle stuck in there.
Right, that's what I'd say, like,
That's what it looks like.
but
This
still,
one,
where's the
it's-
air go?
Push it.
This is where, this is what it
I
came
understand,
with.
but normally those don't have. They're not. They don't
They're
have.
not like.
They're not wrenchable. Yeah.
Oh, really? But this
Oh.
was how it was. So when it
Okay,
came,
that's fine.
should I remove it?
No.
Can you
Try
just
plugging
pull
it.
it out with your fingers?
I can't. I can't pull it without my finger. I mean,
Okay.
with my fingers. Yeah, I can't just pull it.
And the other one.
Is there a spring-loaded component to it? Is there something that
Yes.
like he's saying the collet? Is there a spring-loaded aspect to that thing?
Yes.
It is spring. It is kind of like a little spring here.
Now, you should be able to push that back and it should come back and that should seal your, so if that's not sliding back, when you put it in, you're not gonna have a, you're good.
It's
Try
good.
plugging it in. Plug it in and see what
Push
happens.
it in. And it should. There you go.
See,
And it did snap, right?
It did snap, and then it did snap, and but you see the
Nothing right away.
gauge went down all the way.
And instantly, how can it be, but it's not, it can't be dumping the air that fast.
Yeah,
No,
sure it
it's not
can.
dumping any air.
Yeah,
Well, it has to be. It went somewhere.
yeah, I wonder if it's ever even filling. Where's this relief valve you mentioned?
I'll be back in a second. I'm gonna go get one of those.
Where's that relief, what's that relief valve you mentioned?
The relief valve is on the back side, right down there. Can you see it?
Yeah, let's get a closer look at that.
Why don't you open and close that?
Open.
Yeah. So it has air in it.
Yeah, it does have air.
There's
So
air
I
in the
don't-
tank.
I think the tank's full, it's just that it's not coming out. So when he puts it on there, there's a little bit of air on that line, and that's what the tank is seeing.
So what happens when you plug in a tool? Plug in your air thing. Yeah. Plug that in and see what you get out. No. Keep the
See,
hose.
as soon as I plugged in, unplug it, the air pressure start coming out.
Yeah, I don't think we're reading the pressure on the tank. I think we're reading the pressure on that little piece of
On the gauge.
pipe there. Yeah, just from the outlet of the tank to there is all it's probably reading. I don't think the air's getting out of the tank at all. I'd be willing to bet it's that red valve. Does that make sense?
This red valve.
Well, plug your hose in again.
Okay.
And keep if you can do that while we watch.
Yeah,
That's not going to bleed that quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Now turn that red valve again. Yeah, I bet it's not even opening the tank up. I bet that valve is the problem.
Okay, so keep it as it is and go down and flip that little thing underneath the tank again. See if you get air out of it. Look at that. Now you're going up,
Yeah, it is going up.
but the other one isn't going up.
Yep.
Just flip that, see if you get air out. Yeah, you do, don't you?
Yeah, I
Alright.
do.
Did it get?
Yeah.
Open it up all the way.
All the way?
Yeah, just
Like more?
is there a lot of air coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so the tank is full. Go ahead and close it again. The tank is full. I think it's the valve there is just not letting the air come out.
Okay. So is this valve that not letting
Oh, the
air
red, the
flow?
thing on the end of the red knob is the valve.
Sorry. So this one is the valve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that valve is, that's just strange.
The funny thing is this guy here, it's the safety.
Yeah.
Pull that.
That'll dump it.
See, it's not dumping it. It used to dump it, but as soon as I plug it, it went all the way down to 0 again.
Yeah, there's that whole assembly in there. Something's stuck.
Okay. So it's more like this whole piece has to be replaced, kind of
Well, maybe not replace something. It just might be stuck.
stuck. Okay.
You have to take it apart, though. I would think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, you have to drain the tank first, and then start taking that whole assembly apart and see what's there. It'd be my.
Can you get your phone down a little bit lower? Is that a that doesn't look
Is
like
that why
that's something you can screw off.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it.
How is that black? What's that black thing right next to the brass relief valve there?
Black thing.
It's just a
Yeah.
holder.
Yeah, is it,
Yeah. I have a similar compressor in the basement, and both of those outlets on the right side are outlets. The one on the front and the one on the side, it has 2 outlets.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. This one is like a whole piece.
yeah.
So.
Howard, I think we've determined that something is stuck on the valve here. The
Yep.
tank is full. It's just not letting any air out.
Oh, there you go.
So it looks like if behind that red valve is some type of like a hex nut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, right now your machine doesn't work.
Yeah.
I would drain it, unplug it, drain it from below, and then I put a wrench on that and take it apart and see what you find.
Okay. Okay.
Everybody agreed?
Yeah.
And the other thing you can do is you can take your valves off, the couplers, the 2 on the right. Yes. Unscrew those 2 and see what's open.
And the gauge is
Okay.
the gauge is probably unscrew as well.
Well, but the valves are probably okay. That gauge does pressure up.
Yeah, I think there's
Problem
nothing wrong
is-
with those.
As soon as he tries to move anything, the pressure shuts off. And there's inside that valve assembly, there's a plunger that kind of gets adjusted up and down. There's a spring and a plunger. Yep, inside there, when you pull that nut off, you'll see that there's a plunger, and then there's a spring inside the nut, and then it sits on a seat inside a case in there. And as you turn that thing, it adjusts how high that valve moves off the seat. I was looking at a picture of it last night. And basically you adjust how much spring tension is on that valve, and then it allows air to go through based on where you have it set. Sure. And it sounds like you might have a broken spring or something. So you're setting it, it looks like it's okay, but as soon as you put any pressure on it, it shuts. Yep. So the spring's not keeping that door open.
Got it. Okay.
So there are 2 holes on the top of that valve. What are in there? Yes. Are there
I'm not sure what those are.
It doesn't look like there's anything down there, does it?
Mm-mm.
I don't see any. Okay. Yeah, I think you're best just to bleed it, unplug it, and very carefully take that valve apart so things don't spring all over the place on you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll try that.
I wasn't able to find a manual, but it looks like that the hole on the top closest to the handle could be for lubricating the plunger that goes back and forth inside of that thing.
So those holes on top are lubricating holes?
Well, no, I don't know about the back one because that's where the air should be.
Okay, well, can put, the other thing you can do is you can put some oil in that before you take it apart. Put a few drops of oil and then run your valve up and down, see if it works.
Just remember that thing is going, it's trying to act in equilibrium with the air pressure and make pretty quick adjustments to how much air is moving through there and keeping the pressure off, trying to.
Mm-hmm.
So if it can't do that, if it's stuck, it's just going to
So
or
Ray,
do
if you
nothing.
turn that red knob again, does your pressure in the other one go up? In your other, both
The other one doesn't seem to go up now, unless I unplug this guy.
Yeah, unplug it.
Then
You don't have any air on the left side, so it looks like, oh, wait a minute, here it comes.
They're both going up the same.
Yep.
Mm,
Well, we know his compressor works. That's good.
hmm
So everybody, we have Harriet back. Should I assign breakout sessions, or
What does Harriet have?
she has a laptop?
Yeah, I'm not in there.
Is this the same one that was in last time?
Yep.
Yes.
So she's back.
Yep. We
Would
can talk to her.
you like to continue to work with Ray for a little bit longer?
Well, I think Ray needs to just start unscrewing things and see what we can see
Yep.
after
Yeah.
you drain the tank and after you unplug it.
Get it safe, Ray, before you take it apart.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't
I'll
want to
do
read
that.
about anybody who got
Let
shot
the
in
air
chest
out.
with their compressor
Yeah.
valve.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and drain the air, and then I'll call
Yep.
back.
Sounds good. We'll
Alright,
be here till
thanks,
3.
everyone. All right.
Unplug
Perfect.
and drain.
Drain. Yes, I will. Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Thanks, Ray.
Yeah. No problem. Thank you.
All right, Harriet, are you there? I see you're in here somewhere.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, look at that lighting. That's great. All right. So I know we met with you last time. Could you tell us a little bit more about the issues that you're having with your laptop?
Well, last time I didn't have the right tools and equipment. So afterwards, I was able to open the computer up, got the right size screwdriver, and I bought some spray for it, and I sprayed the fan. So the fan was better. It sounded better, but it would still beep on boot up and turn itself off. And it's been doing that intermittently now for the past month, which is the way it was before, except it sounds much better. And the other change is that the last few days or so, there's no problem with it at all on boot up. But I just don't trust that. I'm not convinced that it fixed itself. So now I've taken it apart again, took all the screws out, lifted the keyboard, moved that aside so I can see the fan.
You are intrepid.
So I'm not sure what else can be done. I mean,
Can you
there's,
show us, put your camera on?
Does the fan run?
yeah, the fan runs. It just, when it boots up, it beeps and shuts itself off a lot of the time. And then it,
So why do we think it's the fan?
because it gives a message that says fan error.
Okay.
It's almost like it's not communicating with the fan, doesn't see it.
I don't think there would be any communication. Fans are usually just the power connection.
Well, yeah, but doesn't it see a current draw when it
Oh, that's a good point.
powers up?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I would guess that it's some sort of loose connection that
Yeah.
it isn't running the fan.
Do you see any wires coming out of the fan that plug in something?
And you can see that.
Well, I see 3 wires coming out of the center of the fan, and then they go underneath somewhere.
Yeah, it'd be good.
And
It would
They
be good
seem
to
to be
check.
connected.
It'd be good to check where that leads to and where it connects to the main board of the computer and see if that connection is loose.
Yeah, but I don't know anything about taking the computer apart.
Do you have the model number there?
The model number is X200.
X200, is it a Lenovo?
Yeah.
You'll find a lot of stuff on the internet about the fan error. It's a pretty common thing. I had almost that exact model with the same kind of issues. There are some vents in the fan that get clogged, and you may have dislodged some, but not all of the stuff.
Well, I'm with Pat. I think I think Pat mentioned it.
Sensor issue.
If it has the error, that says there's a fan communication error, that the fan itself isn't running. It's not that it's clogged.
Yeah, oh, the fans, yeah, it happens when the fan isn't running.
Well,
I mean, it is
That's a
running.
good point.
It
That's a
happens
good
the
when it's running.
fan, the
Yeah.
fan does run all the time.
Do you have any
The failure
compressed
mode
air
is
in the
usually,
period?
Yes.
You have compressed air. Why don't you blow out the fan?
and from the inside, that's a
Yep.
good question. So where we were last time was she hadn't opened it up. We were encouraging her to kind of brush at the fins from the outside with a toothbrush or a small paintbrush or something like that. And she was going to get some air and pull the keyboard and try to blow it. A good question. Have you tried to blow it from the inside, Harry? You're
Can't hear
muted.
it anymore.
Yeah, you're muted, Eric.
Yes, I did that a month ago.
from the inside.
Yes, from the inside, cleaned all the dust off.
So
And it sounded better.
just to confirm, inside your fan, right inside, like right in there, is where you put your little nozzle and blew air. Is that correct?
Well, the cover has these has holes in it, 2 holes.
Yep.
I don't know what I'm doing, so I just
So did you
sprayed
point
it into there, what I could
Yep.
see.
So the fins run along the outside of the fan.
Yeah, I sprayed those too.
You did from the outside?
Yeah.
Okay. And so that blew the dust into the computer. But if you can get that nozzle inside the fan, you see where that little pointer is there, and blow it as much out as you can.
Okay, so I should spray it again.
Well, we want to get the dust out of there. Like that's the number one thing. What happens is what we see on the internet, there's also a fault where you turn it on and it immediately fan faults. And that happens because of restrictions, I guess. And there is some sensing in there. You're right, Pat. There's some kind of sensor in there that says, it's not pulling the voltage it should or something. Throw the fan error.
Sensor.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't start up immediately, and then it gives fan
Let's do what he
error.
was suggesting.
Right.
Take your nozzle from the inside of the computer and blow it so the air goes out the vents on the outside.
Yeah. And to be honest, the fact that it hasn't happened in the past several days would indicate that whatever you did changed something. It was happening every time, and it's not happening anymore. So, or it hasn't happened for the past few days. That's a good thing. Don't suspect that. Yeah, that's not a bad sign.
Okay, so how much should I spray it? I gave it
Oh,
like 3
just
or
a-
4 sprays.
That's
Plastic.
probably plenty. Yep.
Okay, and
Yep.
then that may in fact fix it then.
Well,
Better-
I think you may have fixed it earlier, but we've just moved more dust out.
So can you boot it from where, as it is now?
No, because it sits on a stand on a port.
It has a dock, Dave.
Yeah, a dock, yeah. So I'd have to, and besides, it wouldn't always fail. It would be like
Right.
half the time. But you'd like me to test it? I could, well, would I have to put the screws back in there?
Not necessarily, as long as you're really, really, really careful. And the benefit of starting it up with the keyboard in that position is you should be able to see the fan move.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? But again, you want to be very cautious that you're not moving that thing around while it's plugged in. And truth is, we don't have to have you do that. There is a certain amount of risk associated with starting it up when the keyboard's not home and it's hanging by the cable. And it's the kind of thing we would do, but maybe you want to think twice about doing.
Yeah, I think I'd rather not, because, I mean,
Okay.
that stuff is so tiny in there.
Sure, that's fair.
Well, why don't you put it together and dock it and see if it works? And if it does, let us know.
Okay.
And Harriet,
that sounds
Harriet, if
good.
it doesn't,
Call Harold now.
like I mentioned, you could still check if it has the issue again. You could check the cable connecting that fan to the motherboard. In the chat, I put a link for a disassembly guide from a site called iFixit, and that will tell you how to get that main board, the motherboard, off. And I think if you look at the other side of the board, you might see where that fan connects. So I agree with the other guys though that you probably fixed it already, but if it happens again, that could be a good resource.
Okay, well, I'll take a look at it. I'm not sure I'll be able to do it, but thank you very much.
Good job.
A very good job. You can volunteer for Fix-It Clinic next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
Oh yeah, think about it. You took the keyboard out of that. When you showed up, you didn't think you were going to be able to do that. So
No.
I'm impressed. I'm definitely impressed. Very good.
Thanks.
You bet.
Thanks, Harriet.
Good job. That was very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did things go with Aaron? And the
We're
sewing
waiting for my sewing machine goddess to come in from California. It's still wedged.
It
is.
So
yeah, we tried to rule out any thread that was stuck anywhere, and we couldn't find anything like that. We had her take off a few of the covers, and yeah, there's just nothing obvious. It would really have to be.
Lubricated at all?
She didn't have any oil to do it with immediately.
Yeah.
I think
I've seen machines in previous Fix-It clinics that come in, you can't move them, put a little oil on them, you jimmy them.
Yeah.
And 15
They
minutes
heal.
later, it's running. Yeah.
She did mention she thought she had some hair clipper oil, and I told her that would be really, really close.
Yep.
Or in a pinch, WD-40. So I think maybe she will try that, and maybe she'll find that does it. You know, she's already got all the covers off, so I think that she's half the way there.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people you ask, when's the last time you lubricated? They look at you like, lubricate?
Yeah.
It's like when somebody brings in a vacuum cleaner and you point out that they need to clean the filters out or empty the tank, empty the bag, and
or check the belt.
But I mean, how can you not ever empty the bag in your vacuum cleaner and expect it to?
Stuffed hose is a good failure mode for those, where there's a sock in the hose or something like that. Those are my favorite teachable moments. That, no, we don't have to take apart a vacuum cleaner. They can be dicey sometimes.
Right.
Not Dyson, dicey. Vacuum cleaner joke.
So we could bring them back from the breakout room, and you know, I'm waiting for Cece to show, but in the meantime, they're just sort of sitting there spinning the wheel. So
okay, sure.
Oh, is she still there?
Yeah, she's still there. No, I'll go in the breakout room and tell them we're going to bring them back into the main room.
Okay. So are we calling the laptop repair that it's fixed, or it still needs some work?
I would call it fixed from last time for sure.
Okay.
No, when she brought it back, she described kind of what it would do.
Yeah.
It would get better, and then it would be okay, and this motherboard would stop sensing the problem with fan startup.
Right.
Yeah, I'm.
Okay,
I
awesome.
don't have anybody right now, is that right?
Right.
Harold, what's over your left shoulder with the screen on it?
Oh, I'm not sure. Hold on.
Turn around.
Where's the sewing room breakout?
I mean that.
Peter said that he was going to bring the sewing machine back into the main room.
Okay.
So we're kind of waiting on him. We're glad you can join us, fairy god stalker.
There she is.
Yes, thank you.
Where are you signing in from today?
That's Cece. That's a Fix-It coach. Stick her in the sewing machine breakout room.
Okay.
Yeah, Cece. Great to see you.
Cece,
Okay.
huh?
Yeah. So guys, if you don't have anybody else,
We don't right now.
We could either bring them back to the main room so everyone can see Cece do her magic, or you know,
Let's do that.
Let's bring her
Yeah,
back
okay.
to the main room. How do you know how I can do that?
Yeah, you just leave, like, it gets them, like, you can either bring them back immediately, or there's some way to basically break down the breakout.
Oh, okay, I see. Breakout room 1. Okay. Move to.
Thank you, CC, for being available on short notice.
You're welcome. Am I unpaused?
Close all rooms. There we go. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm bringing them back.
Okay, great. Now everyone can watch.
Yes.
Okay. CC, I've sold you on this one.
Okay.
All right. So Aaron, if it's okay, let Aaron sort of start again, and we'll.
Where is Aaron?
Well,
I think they have to accept the invite to come back, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we're just waiting.
Maybe they don't know where it is and maybe they can't see it.
All right, let's see. And they have 18 seconds.
Do you know what type of machine it is?
Singer.
It's a Singer?
It's a Singer.
Okay.
Oh, Peter, you're muted.
it's the gray one that's boxy that you have so many copies of.
Oh, the
right.
heavy duty?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
There we go. All right, they're back in.
Okay, Erin, Cece, the fairy godstalker is here. If you can just tell her again what you told us, please. Unmute.
Unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I feel like the commercial. Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
So I have it taken apart pretty much, but
What's
it just
happening?
won't move.
It just won't move.
It won't move. I thought there was just a wad of like thread stuck in there, and that's why it wasn't moving, because when I try to manually move it, it's very stiff.
Okay, can I see down in the bobbin area real quick?
Let's see. Okay, let me see how I can.
Can you pop the
Yep.
the plate off?
Cover. I took the bobbin out.
Okay. Can you take your finger and put it into the bobbin area and pull it towards you where that little divot is?
Okay, so you want to go...
Yeah, right there. Go the other side and pull down. Yeah, see if it moves. Does it move at all?
It wiggles a little, but it doesn't want to come out because I don't know how to...
So because I need to see, let's see. Now, can you try to move it one more time with the balance wheel? Yeah.
Nope.
It's stuck. It's not even moving there. Okay. Can you check your bobbin winder and see if it's engaged?
What is, sorry,
On
what's your bobbin winder?
Yeah, on the where you wind your bobbin, can you see and make sure it's pushed to the left?
Oh. Yes.
Okay, it's pushed to the left. And can you take the needle plate off your sewing machine, the plate that's covering your bobbin area? That metal plate? There's two screws.
I've tried to get that off and I can't.
Do you have any
because of the angle?
Oh,
really
okay.
Hard to get
So
like a driver in there. It looks like it's just starting to strip it.
Can you get a butter knife from the kitchen?
Oh, yeah. I'll be right back.
That sewing machine has very little clearance to get a screwdriver in, and they give you actually a special screwdriver that comes with the sewing machine. And she may still have it. I can ask her again, ask her if she does, but if she's had it for as long as she's had it, then.
She's only used it a couple times a year.
Okay, yeah, so, all right, so let's see. Can you, did that get in there?
Yep, it's turning.
Okay, great. Yeah, they usually send you a a special screwdriver that you use to get that off with because you can't get anything under there, and a dime doesn't work because it's too thick.
Yep. Offset screwdriver.
Oh yeah, I got
Yep.
I got an offset ratchet that I use for all mine.
Yep.
Even that, although there's some, even that is too high.
Huh.
She's getting there. She's working it.
Yeah, I got one done. Ooh.
And once you get that out, we're gonna see. I need to see down inside again so I can see what it looks like. I'm almost tempted to run downstairs and grab one so I can talk you through it.
Yeah.
While she's doing that, I am gonna run downstairs and see if I have one downstairs. Hold on. Have you gotten it off yet?
I have.
Okay, so once again, we're going to look down in there. I don't need to see, but just look down there and you see the thing that I asked you to move before, back and forth.
1 second. There's a string. I'm going to grab the string at least.
Oh, that might be helpful too.
Oh, yeah. So basically not the bobbin case.
But the race?
Yes.
It was, did it jump over a little knob?
It will move.
Okay, it will move. Can you try your balance wheel again and see if it moves? And always do it towards you.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so now,
it looks like it would actually come out if I unscrew the other little screw.
Try that, because if it can, once you get that thing out and you can, if it rotates, then we know we can then figure out where the problem is.
No, that's not going to work.
And so were you just sewing with it and it stopped all of a sudden, or did you just come back to it and it wasn't moving?
I sew so little that I don't remember if it stopped when I was sewing and then I put it away and was like, I'll try to figure it out later, or then I just brought it out and it just didn't work. Sometimes I can go a year without sewing. Actually, very frequently I can go.
Welcome to 2020.
Yeah. So, yeah, even though they say that's heavy duty machine, I have a couple of those still in my fleet, and I have thousands of people on it, and it takes every little bit of time to keep them running after you have over 1,000 people sewing on the same machine. So it doesn't take long for anything to happen on these. You can't get that one?
No, it's, again, because of the angle, there isn't clearance.
Mm-hmm.
And then the butter knife doesn't work.
Because it's too thick?
Yeah, and I think...
you mentioned that you had the kit. Does the kit have an angle screwdriver in it?
No, it really didn't come with much.
It doesn't look like a screwdriver. It looks like a little piece of metal.
Oh, wait.
Not that one. That is for doing quilting. It's a flat piece that has weird angles on it. Maybe looks like an L or a L. That's it. Try that one.
Yeah.
Look at that. We're learning all sorts of things. It still doesn't want to move. Oh, we got one.
Once one comes.
Oh, the other one's pretty on there.
You can, if you can also hit it, put the screwdriver in and tap it a little bit. Maybe it'll help to loosen it up. I can feel it wants to loosen. I can just feel it.
Wow.
Nope. Yeah.
The other one, it was like with ease, it came off.
Yeah, that's how it happens sometimes. And one of them might be accessible and the other one might not be. It's a really bad design on their part. Let's see. Do you have any WD-40 or you might have sewing machine oil in your sewing kit?
I did not.
Okay.
Mentioned before that she has some hair clipper oil.
Yeah, I could probably find the clipper oil.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
That's machine oil.
Okay, let me run to the basement.
Okay, I got a question for Fairy Godstalker.
Yep.
How would I get a timing belt for a Janome machine that's like 30 years old, and when I go to sewing machine parts online, it says no longer available?
Okay, so is it a lag? What type? Is it a V belt? Is it a lag belt? Is it a round belt?
It's a belt with little knobs on it.
So that's a lag belt.
Yeah.
So then what do you want to do is see if you can get the measurement. What was that?
I need a new one. The old one
Okay.
is broken.
All right. So if you actually figure out the measurement, if you still have the old one, measure the old one, find out its size, and then you don't have to necessarily look to that industry specifically. I've gone into other industries that have lag belts and stuff like that for machinery and stuff, and I've ordered them like that.
Okay, that's what I'm about to do.
Yeah, just make sure you know what I usually do is I tie
is the word.
I usually tie a string around and get the measurement just to make sure it's tight, because that your lag belt might be a little stretched from years of wear and whatnot. So you might want to get it nice and tight and cinched up to and get a measurement. But that's usually what I end up doing. Oftentimes, if it's a small enough one, I go and find myself a car dealership to get the V belts. Those are the really great ones to get for the industrials. Okay, so she's got the oil. Can you
a little oil
and just put a little tap on that screw and see if it and maybe tap on the screw again and see if it doesn't have to be too much. I mean, it just needs a little bit. And you may want to change your orientation to the machine. It might help. It might be standing over it, pushing down your weight as much as you can might help it.
Ross, can you come here for a second? I'm going to ask my husband.
Brute strength is always good.
Yeah. Can you come here and try to unscrew this just for a second? It's like starting to like dent.
Try the little one. Let's see if.
Okay.
I got a case of mini screwdrivers in that blue thing.
It's
downstairs.
okay,
move.
That one.
Okay.
How do you do this?
Yes.
Brute strength. Urgh.
I don't want to break it.
You'd be surprised how much torque that thing can handle.
Stay in there's a dumb tool.
Well, it's because a screwdriver is too tall. There's oil underneath, so be careful.
Well, yeah. It just pops out every time you get some force on it.
Nope.
Stripping.
I know. That's
Okay,
starting to
so why don't we stop that for a second? Let me see.
If we not more.
It is already loosening up. So that one can like come right off, so that doesn't matter.
Well, let's tighten that one then, and then try the other one.
No, don't do that because you tighten things too tight.
I won't tighten it too tight, just to help me get grip on the other one. Sometimes just putting some pressure on this will loosen up the other one.
That's true. You can do that. That's why you do diagonal on doors.
I think I'm just bending the metal.
Okay, so let me take a look down in the bobbin area one more time.
One last try. I don't like giving up on things.
If you have a ratchet offset ratchet, you might be able to get it under there.
I don't think.
First rule, guys, do no harm. Okay, don't get too aggressive about it.
Okay, let's see down in your bobbin area real quick again.
1 second.
Wet in the back.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for your help.
Okay. If she got the screw, I think she got out. All right. Okay, so do you see the yellow dot?
Yes.
Okay, so I can't tell if it's, so when I'm facing it, it's to the right of that yellow dot. You see that square thing with the dot in the middle?
That thing?
A little higher? Yes. So you see that? Okay, so we haven't jumped the, I can see we haven't jumped the knob. And if you put your finger in there and try to rotate, just try to move that back and forth at the same time when you're, do you see anything stuck inside the machine right there? Do you see any needle possibly broken in?
No.
And if you move the race, keep moving the race, because if we can get that race out, if we can get that middle part out, and it when it rotates, it'll come out. But that's what if we can get that out, we can see if it's the machine that's causing, if it's the mechanics farther up, and it's not, as you said, it's not moving at all. So she can't, yeah. And is there anything stuck in that area? Did you see?
No.
Nope.
Look, there was like 2 little threads that came out that were like literally tiny.
Okay. So now let me see. Let me see the front face of the machine while you're doing the hand wheel again, and I want you to rock it back and forth, the balance wheel. You might want to change hands so you can hold it with your other hand, and then with one hand, yeah, and use the balance wheel. And let me see the move it to, yes. Okay, nope, closer to the camera real quick, and step to your right. Yes. Well, okay, now wiggle it back and forth. Okay, so it's farther up because it's not even moving there.
I mean, it does not move.
I know. That's what I was saying. It's not, okay, hold on. Let's see your settings here. In the front. Okay, hold on. It's not moving. We don't need to see it out there. It's farther back in the things. Can you take the lid off the top of it? Oh yeah, you got the lid off. Okay, so let me see the front so I can see what it's set at. The machine is set at, what's the settings on the machine? The machine is tilted a little bit towards me more. Okay, so we at a, can we change your the S button to a straight stitch?
Yep.
Okay, and then can you put it at 0 for your 0 for your length and 0 for your width? And don't worry about the tension knob.
Tension. Needle position?
Needle position stays in the middle, please.
Okay.
So but can you slide the needle position back and forth, and does it move? Can you change the needle position real quick, and does it move? The machine move the,
yeah.
So that moves. Okay, so put it back in center. So that's it. So it's not that far up. So then now I would take and I would look at it, take your balance wheel, look down in the machine, and rock the machine back and forth. And where you see it connected from the balance wheel, where does it connect to? It connects to the
I'm sorry, what's the balance wheel?
balance wheel is the one that you turn to put the needle down in the downwards position on your sewing machine. It's all the way to the right on the outside. That's your balance wheel.
Okay.
And that's what usually you turn to put your needle in into the fabric. Okay.
Yep.
So if you stand up and look down, when you have that, put your hand on it, and what you're going to do is just close your eyes for a second and just feel it rock back and forth and say, I can feel where it's stopping. And open your eyes and take a look at how it's connecting to how it's connected to the machine. How's that knob connecting to the rest of the machine? Feel it, just tap it back and forth. Can you hear where that tapping is coming from? I mean, I know it's not moving any, but it's moving a little. There's a little bit of movement. So just take a look down in there and see if you see any rust, something jammed in there, and you just rock it back and forth. It may have a little bit of a nudging point, but you have to feel it, because usually if it's that, those machines are not known for getting bound like that. So it's a strange thing, but if you go tick 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 or just move it back and forth ever so slightly, because
hold on one sec. I just see a little. I'm gonna get a tweezers. Hold on one second.
While she's getting that, Ray, is that you that's back in here?
Yeah, that's me. I'm back.
Okay. Are you ready to meet with us again? I could move people to a breakout session so we could work with you again.
Yeah, If everyone's ready, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, sounds good. So I will assign. Does that sound good to you guys?
No.
Okay.
Now, I saw some fuzz and thought I would try to grab it, but then this came out.
Oh, you put that back in.
That
is your wick for your oil. You can always put some machine oil on that too to help it.
Okay, good to know.
That is your machine oil. So you're now. You said you didn't see anything moving inside there, but take a look. Stand up and look straight down in your sewing machine. Put your hand on your balance wheel, and just tap it back and forth and see if you can. I know you said it's not moving at all, but as I said, those things are not too tall. Those things are not.
It's too tall.
Maybe it'd be easier to make a breakout machine or a window for the sewing machine and leave everybody else.
Yep, I'm doing that right now. So I'm gonna move Ethan, Fairy Godstalker, Gary, Aaron, and Peter. Does that sound good?
Yes. Sounds good. I'll wait for the.
All right, here we go.
There we go. Go to the join the break.
Hold on, I have to.
Excellent. And then just let me know when they're done. When you're done. All right, Ray, we're ready for you.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Yay.
I was able to take this guy out here, so let me flip my screen. So this is where the ball, right? We call it, and then and it has a little rubber kind of cover thing, and this is a little knob that push in. Looks like it's pushing in to allow air to flow.
So that moves, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's moving. Yeah, it's moving. And I look at the spring, it looks pretty good. Everything looks intact.
Yeah,
When you pushed in there, does it look that was spring loaded when you put that other piece in the when a moment ago when you put the disc place steel? No, the other part.
It's pretty tough. I can't really push.
The other part. You put the other part in the main. Yeah. No, when you pushed it into the main compressor.
Go back 2 steps.
Yeah.
Down here.
Put the plastic thing in there.
There you go.
Just the plastic.
There's the plastic.
Just
yeah.
Just the disc.
Okay.
Now, is that spring loaded when you push on that?
It is. I can feel it.
Okay, so there's another spring in there, in other words.
Yes, there's another spring. Yeah, okay, yeah. That makes sense, yeah.
That would be where I would think would be the part that's not doing what it's supposed to, because,
Oh,
So how do you get to that?
yeah,
Is it, can you grasp that with some, there's a, you can get a, yeah, there's a, you could get a socket on that and wind it out, I think.
yeah, it's
oh.
not.
So you think it's a,
Well, there's something else
It's a nut.
behind there. That's another spring. And that's closer to where the problem is, I would think.
okay.
And you have a socket that'll fit that hex?
I might have something. Let me check.
Yeah, you want to try and use a socket. I wouldn't try and use a wrench in there.
Yeah, I might have a socket. So too small. Try one size up.
It may be metric too.
What? I'm sorry.
It may be metric.
Metric. Oh, okay. This one fit. Oh. Maybe a screwdriver will help. Oh, so this is the spring. Looks like there is some kind of, you see anything? So this is the spring that came out.
So do you have a small Q-tip or something that you could, or even a Q-tip without the cotton on it to probe that and see what's in there?
Oh, the inside?
Yeah.
Mm,
Or can you see in there and see if there's, see to the back? Is it clear?
turn on my flash.
Come on, I'm really anxious to get outside. It's 91 degrees, dew point is 78 with it feels like I'm 106.
Oh, yeah, I'm in my garage. It feels
Yeah, I'll bet.
steamy.
I was saying I'm anxious to get done here so I can go outside, and I was obviously kidding.
So do you have a small screwdriver that you can just get in there and gently probe a little bit and see? Looks like everything's clear.
Yeah. I can't find a Q-tip.
Show us again that part that came out of there.
The part that came out?
Okay, so that spring has got to be pushing against, there's got to be some other valve in there that spring is controlling. Right?
Oh, yeah. But
Look down there, looks like it's got a,
oh, I see. No, the air comes up the middle and then goes down, around, and out. Okay. This might be one of those cases where you take it apart and put it back together and it starts working.
So you think I put it back?
the other thing I would have you do, Ray, is I'd have you take off your two valves that you attach to.
These two?
Yeah, the one straight out and the one that's at a right angle. Take those out. And then if you've got a small piece of wire, see if you can probe that that right to the center. See if you can see if it'll go through.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Or even maybe take off that gauge.
take off the gauge too?
Well, I just thought.
I would wait on that.
Okay. Do you have like an open-end wrench rather than a pliers to do that?
Might have something that will help, but it's not. Oh yeah, I do.
Nothing else, a crescent wrench. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pliers is generally you want to avoid because it's easy to damage the nut.
Sure, sure. I'm trying to figure out which way.
Is that going to be like a gas fitting? Is it going to go the other way?
I don't know.
So it may not be left loose, right tight. It may be the other way around.
Yeah. So it might be going to right. Okay.
In other words, instead of when it looks like you're tightening it, it may actually loosen it.
There you go.
That work? I guess not. That's okay. And just a comment, as you put that back together, you're probably going to want to put some Teflon tape on there.
Some Teflon tape. Yep. Okay. So.
Can you get the other one off?
No, I don't have the other one off yet, but do we?
I'm thinking that might be a little bit easier to probe.
Before you get too far down that road, I just found a really helpful illustrated description of how to troubleshoot and repair the issue with that regulator in the section there in the center. Talks about how to take it apart, how to lubricate it, what to look for. There's a little deal with a Dremel tool. I put a link in the chat.
Awesome.
I spent a couple minutes looking at it, and it talks about going into that center hole and pulling out the seat, the pressure seat, and lubricating it, and it talks about some other stuff that looks like it would be really helpful to you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's
anything helps.
It's with big pictures and clear descriptions, and it describes a symptom that is exactly what you're experiencing here, which is you get a slight burst of air and then both sides go blank. And
Okay.
I'd not seen that before, but yeah, this looks like, God, it looks just like your machine too.
Yeah, I have been researching for a few weeks now.
Sure.
On Google and try to find every single way, and then they were saying like try to replace the regulators.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy is a whole piece. I don't know where.
Yeah.
How do I take it apart?
Sure. Yep.
But yeah.
This really does look like, at least everything that I saw, it looked like it was very close to what it is you're doing.
Okay. Maybe what I can do is I can look it up and continue read up what you found, and then I can continue to troubleshoot it.
I think yeah. There's some grooves in there I never knew existed. So.
Yeah. This is an oddball one. I picked it up at Walmart for like $30.
Sure.
So I'm like, I don't want to junk it if it's working. I just feel like it's gonna be going to the landfill, and I'm just not the kind that likes to throw stuff away if it's working. I try to fix it before it goes out.
You're preaching to the choir.
Yeah. Sometimes those ones that cost you $30 last longer than the ones that cost you $300.
I know. And the brand new one, I mean, I can go and get a Harbor Freight one for like $30, but then I'll have another piece of equipment in the landfill. I'm like, nah.
Yeah, I've had mine for about 15 years, and it cost me $20.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I found one. I was going for a walk, and I found one put out for recycling. And so I carried it for the rest of the walk home, and I started to fix it. And then I found out there was a recall. So I called the company, and they sent me a brand new one.
Oh, nice.
Then I fixed the one that I found. and gave it to
There
my
you go.
neighbor. So we have
Oh.
2 of them that have been running for, I don't know, the past 5 years anyway.
That is cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
So
Yeah.
we don't like to
Deal.
throw anything out either, man.
No, it's like, yeah. I was gonna ask my dad to try to figure it out since he have some time in his hands. So, but
Sure.
you know, I'm glad you guys, guys have walked me through more than what I could. Yeah.
This might be one of those things, you put it back together and it starts working. You never know.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
You never know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
I'm gonna try that now.
You may want to do that first, and then you can read about Howard's how-to.
Yeah.
Aircompressors.com, fixing an air regulator. Sounds good.
And boy, take a look at the pictures and stuff. It's pretty well done. It's short, easy to follow, and I'm totally impressed. That's a keeper for me.
Thanks, folks. Yeah. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ray. Anything
no problem.
else? Anybody
That's
else?
all I need.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Ray. Have a good one.
You too. Bye now.
Bye. Alrighty. Well, I guess we could bring the other group back in here, see
Do we
what's
have
going
anybody
on.
else we're expecting?
We are expecting 6 more.
6 more. What?
Yeah.
With the specific times that they were coming, or what?
Nope. I took your guys' advice and I just kind of opened it up whenever you
Sure.
guys can sign on.
And hopefully they don't expect that they're going to show up at the end. And
Yep.
yeah,
So I said we're available until 2:30.
sure.
Yep. All right, so I'll bring them back. Close all rooms. There we go. I'm curious to see if the air compressor is going to start working now.
I don't know if you were there when I was talking about, I put a link in the chat.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. That boy, wish I would have seen that last night.
Yeah. All right. Joe, how's it going over there? I see you just hanging out over in the sidelines. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing swell.
Oh, the
Good.
snacks are great. Thank you.
I'm always learning stuff.
All right. Well, I closed the rooms, so they should be joining us again.
So how's the sewing machine going? There she is.
Oh, there we go.
What happened?
Aaron, you're muted.
Yeah, I think it automatically mutes when it brings you to a different.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think you can hear me, right?
Yeah, now we can. So how's it coming along?
Okay, so let me see that
out of
position you
nowhere.
had. You just had it in a great position, and I couldn't stop you from moving from it. It was a great position, and I wanted to see. Okay, so you see, okay, wait, to left and down a little, down a little, down a little. Okay, and up a little. Let's see. Okay, back up, back up, back up, back up. Okay, so you back up a little bit more, up a little bit more. So behind, so you see the yellow square?
Yes.
Okay, so right down behind there, you can take a look and see where your belt is coming into that octagon. Is it a 1, 2, 3? Is it a hexagon shaped motor? That's right to the,
Yep.
so take a look and see where the belt is connecting to that.
I'm gonna unplug it. That'll make it
That's a
sound-
good thing. Yes.
I meant unplug it from the actual, from the machine.
That's
Too
how.
bad she can't elevate that a little bit. Do you have something to put on your table to bring the whole machine up?
If you plug it in and have and put power on it, will it try to work? Can you hear the motor trying to go?
It does. The motor
yeah.
tries.
Yes, it does.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yep. It wants to go.
It just goes
Sounds like
tink,
it's
tink,
trying.
tink.
Well, it would suggest it's not the motor.
Then so that's why I'm like saying that I need to. Okay, so that right there, and we have to see where the balance wheel. It's a feel thing. I gotta have one to feel it. I'm.
Yep.
Oh, where do Ethan go? Ethan, can you feel?
Yeah, I'm still here. I have, what are you looking for?
So think of put your hand on the put your hand on the balance wheel and see where anything could jam up to be so stiff that it wouldn't move at all.
Yeah, I would feel like if it was the belt or the motor, you would at least get the
play.
elasticness of the belt
Yeah, there's
as
play.
play. I mean, there's not that much, but there's at least a little bit. I can only think that if it's right by the wheel, I mean, that's what we were talking about before. You know, if it was right at that balance wheel, then that would do it. But I can also see, like, you know, the balance wheel is connected directly to the shaft.
Yeah.
And anything else that's connected directly to the shaft would make it so that it doesn't turn at all, right? All these other things are connected by a belt.
So can you do me a little, okay, since I don't have one of those in my possession, can you rotate it? Let's see, that's the rotating there. And what is that one? It keeps rotating. And I'm trying to see my moving parts from there is, okay, there's that.
To your right?
Yeah, I can see it. All right, so I am.
All these shafts down here, though, are connected via belts, so I can't imagine that would be these would be the problem. It'd be the direct one.
I was going to say, take the belt off of something and see if you can, and see if you can move it. Yeah, if you could do something like that, where he took the belt off, and see if you can move the. This is how you would have to go. But I keep on thinking
It doesn't want
maybe.
to move. I took the belt off and it does not want to move at all.
Oh, at that little spot, we're just trying to rotate.
Here is.
Okay.
As soon as you do that, you're gonna have to reset the timing.
No, the timing stays unless you unscrew the screw them from the shaft, they won't move. The timing will be fine. It's not the up and down on that does not. You said it doesn't move at all, and that's right at the
Oh.
So that's something in the motor. It looks like. I mean, it's not rotating at all.
Which doesn't rotate, the motor or
the motor is connected by a belt, so again, wouldn't it rotate a little bit from the elasticity of the belt?
Yeah, right there. So when he rotates it, okay. So where is her? Can you point to the yellow square that Ethan has in his screen?
That's looking from below.
Do you want
okay, thank you. Okay, so there's the yellow, and you took the belt off at the top.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
now
the bottom moves. The bottom moves.
The bottom moves. Okay,
Well,
so we now have. So that is where. So something between that and that shaft that's going up and down. This two screws that are right in front of you, between the right next to the blue dot, the two blue dots. Yeah, that right there. Ethan, that doesn't move any of the shafts, right?
That screw is connecting something to the shaft. It looks like some cam right here. This screw is that same piece.
When you move, does that cam go up and down? Or that's
no, that must be something else.
Okay, so
I think that's
that's the hold on one second. Right here. Sorry. We're putting in a loft before Mom gets here. Okay, sorry. So that is your cam going back and forth. And are you also set at 0 with a 0
yeah, I'm probably a straight set with 0 width. I can check if we
just
need.
verify that. I just wanted to.
Yep.
Okay, so
I'll check real quick.
Can Aaron do the same thing? How does she move her? When she takes the belt off, does it
actually
move
on a
that
zigzag.
Okay, that one is at 0. Go all the way to 0 length and 0 width.
Yep, got it.
Okay, and so, Sarah, did you see him? That one piece that he moved right there. Put your finger on it. That piece right there in yours. Does that move on yours?
It does.
Okay, so so now I'm like going, okay, so hers moves at the bottom, but not at the top. So we got to flip it back over toward the top and reverse the position, because now we're going to be looking at something between that belt and your balance wheel, something in that range. And I told her to check the the bobbin winder.
Slide the belt back on.
Yeah, you can, because it's the top part that's having, yeah. So that right there, that links in with a rubber gasket. So if she says hers was disengaged, I believe she
Yep.
said. So, but it's like, I'm like going, okay, so it has to be something that's where it's got to be a gear. It must be a lever or a
There's
gear in here.
Yeah, below the bobbin winder, there's a whole big kind of area that's kind of like a bushing.
It's a plastic bushing.
Oh, it's really hard to point in there.
Yeah, I can see it.
It's a metal bushing.
Okay, that one there. Yeah.
So that would be worth
yeah.
oiling at least
That
on
would
both
be
sides.
yeah, and she
another
can drop
spot
it between right in there.
right in there.
Yep.
And on the other side.
Yeah, and that.
Oh my gosh, it's very hard to.
And I don't see any points that I could actually see if she is
The belt's back on.
Okay, the belt's back on, and so we're looking at the same direction that Ethan's in.
Yep.
And so and then I'm going to let you talk, and I'm going to have you put your hand on the bounce wheel and wiggle it one more time for me, because I've just not seen. Yeah, let's see. Go ahead and speak.
It's nothing. It's stiff as.
I think I'm being. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm trying to get to see her.
Kirsten, can you pin the video on Erin, please?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's. Great.
Yes.
Great. So there you go. Let's turn that one back and forth. You do have play now. You're having more play. It was going back and forth. You said. Okay.
No,
so
it's not.
Okay.
It feels
So
as if it was never intended to move.
okay. So now let's go to that one right there. Go to there and put some oil there. And then follow that shaft back and put oil under that plate. There's another under that metal weird, I don't know. Yeah, under that plate. Right behind there, there's a metal on metal right there.
Yeah.
Hey, you might be able to see on my screen here.
It's so goopy.
Goopy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so get a
dry.
hair dryer. Go get a hair dryer. Go get a hair dryer.
And dry it?
Yes, heat it up. Go get a hair dryer.
All right, everybody. We also have Jenny joining us today. So is it okay if I move you back to the sewing room?
Sure.
All righty.
Yes.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
I wish we could have. I'm trying to get my camera to work for being able to see things.
Right.
Join breakout room. Yay.
All right, did I do that right? All right, and Erin, you're going back to the breakout room again.
Okay.
We'll see you again.
Thank you.
All right. Jenny, are you here?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, Jenny, I see you have the cuckoo clock.
Yep.
Yeah, great. Hello, welcome. I'm Kirsten, Dakota County. We have our fixers here ready to go. Can you tell us about your cuckoo clock and what's going on with it?
Well, I think I can get it up where you can see it. The cuckoo clock has two problems. One is that the trim up here came off, and I don't think that's too big a problem. But inside, these three chains are messed up, and so it won't work. And when I looked at the back of it, the chains are in the front and I can't get at them, but I think I see two screws that I'm trying to loosen to see if I can get the front off without damaging it. And then I need some help to get the chains fixed to where they need to go.
You take the hands off?
No. There are two screws that hold the front to the mechanism. And unfortunately, my screwdriver is too short. I've got another screwdriver in the other room I'm going to run and grab.
All sorts of fun things today. This is great.
Could you go downstairs and look for a small little screwdriver with a longer handle? I don't need a big blade. I need a smaller blade. I don't know that this screwdriver is that much longer, but I will see if I can hang on to it a little bit better. My husband's headed downstairs to see if he can find a longer screwdriver.
So the chains are off the little wheels that wind or drive it, is that right?
Yes.
And you can't get to that from behind?
Right.
Okay.
And I've got one screw that I can't, it is turning, it's just turning rather slowly because don't have good leverage on it.
Turning is better than not turning.
I'm sorry?
Turning is better than not turning.
Yes. I'm also concerned about being able to get it back in when I can't reach in there any better. And I'm also ruining the fact that I didn't bring my magnetic pin dish to put the screws in, but I've got a little something here. I think I can put screws in. Okay. One screw is out. I just need to get it.
That's what husbands are
There,
for.
it's in.
Send them down to get that.
It's in the container. I'll see if I can get the other screw. Because of course I went for the easier to reach one first. Oh, there are 4 of these screws. I thought there were only 2. There's 4. Now, the trick may be getting the screws back in. Oh boy. I am not sure how I'm going to get out those 2 upper screws. I can see them, but there's not a straight path to them. My daughter this is my mother's cuckoo clock, and
I hope.
Oh, those are not any. Well, they're maybe a little bit longer. Look for the Craftsman if you would,
Okay.
and see if you can find me a Craftsman screwdriver.
Okay. Well, that looked like it was longer than the one you had, but it's probably not long enough.
Yeah, if you could look for one that's longer than these, I would appreciate it.
I'll take this.
No, leave this with me for now. The one that's the right size is broken.
No.
But I'll see if I can get this one to work. Thank you.
Sure, I'll try again.
Let's see which one is longer of these 2. Oh, that one's longer, so I'll give it a go. Okay.
You mentioned the top of your clock came off.
Yeah.
When that was off.
It's not the top of the clock. It's a trim piece that goes here in the front that looks like twigs. And there's a metal piece here that it was on, and I think there's another metal piece for this side. And if nothing else, I may be able to glue that back on. I'm not as concerned about that as trying to figure out how to get the chains back on track. My daughter said
to change them. Are there screws on the bottom that you could take off to give you access to them? That'd be easy.
Nope. The bottom is glued together, and my daughter specifically said that I should not do anything that would damage the outside of it. She said that she wouldn't care if I gave it to her unworking as long as it, because what she remembered was what it looked like. So I was saying that this was my mother's, and I'm cleaning out my mother's house now that she's gone into memory care. And I'd asked my kids if they wanted the clock, and my son didn't, but my daughter did. So I thought I'd try to fix it. Okay. Now I have a screw here that getting the screwdriver into the slot on the screw. Well, the bigger screwdriver will not fit, but if I can get, yeah, I've got it started, so it will come. It's just a matter of how many times I'm going to have to restart.
Hi, Jenny. I'm Howard.
Hi, Howard.
I've been watching you working at getting the works out of your cuckoo clock. I did some research based on the problem you reported. Did some digging around on the internet and found a guy who calls himself Just Mike. And Just Mike is a cuckoo clock whisperer.
Oh, okay.
So I guess you wouldn't be talking to us if you didn't have a computer and some access to the internet. Just Mike has a video that's very deliberate. It kind of walks through the individual steps that you're going through right now. We probably don't want to watch it. It's 25 minutes long. But he also has a wonderful video about how to rewind those chains. In other words, how to get those chains back around the hubs. I'm going to put a couple of links into the chat here for everyone.
Oh, okay. Cool.
That will be very useful for you when you're done here and you go, gosh, I wish I would have asked them this.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I wish I would have thought of this. It's also the kind of thing we look at sometimes when we get stuck. So the first one I sent you is how to get the works out of a cuckoo clock.
This I don't think is going to be terribly helpful, but it's.
Yeah, it's a straight screwdriver I need, not a Phillips.
Oh, I thought you said you wanted.
And
no.
Okay. Okay. Let me go. Take more.
No, it's a flat. And Dan, if you go in my sewing room,
okay,
underneath the ironing board there is a wheeled carrier.
Okay.
And inside of that is a magnet on a wand.
Okay.
I need the magnet on the wand.
Okay.
And the screwdriver, yes. The magnet on a wand will be very helpful in getting this screw out. Okay. I am trying to figure out where to make this screw fall so that I can, it fell to the bottom. How I'm ever going to get these screws back into their positions, I have no clue.
You may end up gluing the face on.
Okay, there's something, a piece of chain is sitting in front of this screw. So I have to drag the chain away from the screw. Yep, got the chain away from the screw. I thought the other top screw was hard to get at. I'm trying to get the chain to fall away from the screw so I can get into the slot on the screw. I hope this loosens the front because so far, what it seems to be doing is, all that's doing is causing the mechanism to come off the front. It is not letting the front off the box. So I'm not sure that that's helpful.
You mean you're removing the mechanism?
Yeah, I thought that the mechanism was attached to the sides and that way the front would come off, and that's not the case. What I'm doing is loosening the mechanism.
Well, if you can pull the mechanism out, you can reset things.
The problem is that I don't think I can pull the mechanism out past this and this and this. These are the things that make it cuckoo.
Yep.
They're the billows.
Yep.
For the cuckoo. And they're glued to the side.
Yep.
So unless I can take them off the sides and put them back on.
Sounds like a good time to watch Just Mike.
I think so. I think so. And I also think I broke, well, that didn't break, but loosened the thing that opens and closes the cuckoo's door. When unfortunately the chain moved just enough to make it cuckoo. And now the door was stuck open. And I think it's back to stuck open, which just means that it's more fragile when I try to store it. So it looks like I need to.
Can you turn it around again and let us take a look on the inside?
Okay. Gosh, that looks exactly like the one in Mike's video. Exactly.
Okay.
It's
well,
spooky. Spooky.
So let me see if I can find the chat here. And
yep, there's two links in there. There's a
yep.
25-minute video on how to remove a cuckoo clock works. And I was thinking, how could it take 25 minutes to show a video of that? Apparently, it's complicated.
Yeah, well, let's get a document up here to put those links in.
Yep.
And I will go watch the videos, and hopefully if I can watch the videos now, I can come back and talk to you guys if I need to. But thanks for finding the videos. Oh, okay, let's see. No, that's unfortunately. How do I get? I'm trying to. Oh, there we go.
I could send it to you also, Jenny. Would that be helpful?
All it's letting me do is select all. It doesn't let me copy.
All right. I can just email it to you really quick.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Okay. The first or the second
email
video,
me
Howard?
Both of them.
Both of them.
The first one talks about how to remove the works, and the second one talks about how to get that chain back on there. It's a pretty tedious process.
Yeah, and that would be wonderful.
I will do that. And then you'll sign back on and tell us what you did.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
It's going to take a while, yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to get this to you now.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
I'm going to minimize you so I can see my email.
Okay, I haven't sent it quite yet. I was going to introduce our new person. I'll be with you in just a minute, Jenny. Is it Corinne? Corinne? Oh, watcher. Never mind. CK. All right, never mind. CK, Coffee Kid, right?
Muted.
That's correct.
Okay, got you. You have similar initials as a participant who signed up for the event.
Oh,
I'm glad you're
sorry.
here.
Thank you. I'm late, but I'm happy to be here.
No problem. Do you have any broken items?
I don't. I just like to watch and learn.
Okay, great.
So I will mute and just watch you folks.
All right, then I might bring the sewing crew back in here.
Howard.
Yes.
Do you have an oscilloscope over your left shoulder?
Yes.
Okay. Nice to know.
Actually, 2.
I'm supposed to actually be the keeper of the Hennepin County one. We'll see.
Yeah, there's actually, let's see. While we're waiting, oops.
Oh yeah.
Kirsten, it popped us back out into here.
Yep.
We didn't fix it yet.
Okay, that's all right.
But we're still
Sorry.
kind of getting.
Oh my gosh.
Did we lose everybody? I'm still here. I just have to go off video. I'm still here. I'm just off video.
Don't forget to mute.
Okay. Well,
the rustling of the toilet paper is a real giver.
All right, cool. So, and I will unmute you, Erin.
Ethan, did Ethan get back into the from the other room? Because Erin's in the room with us, but I was going to see if Ethan could talk her through.
I'm here. Yeah, sorry, I was muted. I'm here.
Go ahead and talk her through taking that
Well, I'm still working on it myself. Yep, you got those 2 out. Did you get the front one out here?
The front one out, and then and the back one.
Yep, I'm at the same spot you are.
If there's something in the middle holding on.
I think it's just some sort of clip that's holding it. Let me keep working on it and see if I can figure it out too.
Did you get the one you got the one in the front, right?
Okay, so I got it off. It did feel like there was something in the middle. There is a clip toward the at the U-shaped of the underside. In the very middle of that U, there's a clip. I literally just kind of forced it off at this point. If you got those,
if you just have a screwdriver, stick it in there and just turn it a quarter turn and see if it pops it off.
I'll show you where that clip is that you might be stuck on.
It's coming, I think. There we go.
She got it. Perfect.
Okay, so now that tilt it towards us, I guess that would be so we can see what we. So what is stopping? So, Ethan, those cogs, anything in there? What's it look like? I can't see it from hers, but I know I can see it from yours. So I'll let you take this.
Let me give us all a bit closer view. Switching to my front camera. So I can't see myself very well. So I'm trying to think. Now, of course, there's the stitch kind of wheel, stitch programming wheel. What else moves? You know, of course, it goes to the motor back there with this belt.
So
not really anything else that moves on this side.
So does the motor not move?
I think we determined the motor was moving. She said it was loose on the bottom. Her bottom wheel, she said, was moving.
Yep.
So
that was the one that we took off was for the feed dogs, not for the motor.
Okay.
So this is a different one.
So that's
if we take it off here, we should be able to. If the motor was stuck, we should be able to move.
Yeah.
So
it does not move.
Were you able to take this wheel off, Erin? Or sorry, this belt off?
Yep.
Okay, and it still doesn't move. So it's not the motor, guys.
So it is, then there's something in that, there's something going on in that. Is there a screw along that ridge or maybe underneath the tines or anything that will separate that from the,
You're talking about down
no,
here?
go to your balance wheel and lift
Yep.
the balance wheel. Is there anything, any screwed set screw or anything down like that? Might be under the belt. Might be
Good
under
point.
the belt.
Yeah, hold on.
Because okay, so let's see.
Nothing.
Is there a screw? There's no. If you pull the belt off, can
Yep.
you actually lift the belt up out of that crevice and see if there's any set screw along that? There's nothing along
Nope.
that. Okay,
I
so
feel like
how
it's
is it?
somehow attached to the shaft back here with the, either collar or something, or maybe
Yeah,
it's.
so I'm trying to think, but I'm trying to think how that's
So
gonna
what if
come
she
up.
works all the different settings? You know, she puts the knob back on the front for all the different stitches and lengths and works those, because that makes all those plastic cogs in there change,
Yeah,
right? I
it
mean, you know,
does.
so finding something in there that's like not moving right.
Well, I would think that. Yeah, I suppose if that was, if this being stuck could directly by this worm gear.
Yeah.
That could make this impossible to move. Well, no, this worm gear would have some backlash. She would feel
Yeah.
that. Never mind. I take that back.
It's really confusing of how it would not be moving like at all. I
Well,
mean,
there's those two screws on top of that where the bobbin, yeah, those things.
Bobbin winder. Yep.
Yeah, what happens if you take those off? Can you see that?
there's a guard there. That's the guard, and so but careful when you do that. You're gonna
Yep.
have your bobbin spring might pop out at you.
There's a spring on it.
Because you got two springs. You have that spring and you have the spring that's just below it to the right. You have that
this
spring
one,
also.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I will be
nope.
careful as I do the other screw.
Because I've had those go boo across the room. So I think oops, careful.
Yep.
I think
I'm gonna set my camera down when I do this.
this is just a guard. I think it's just a guard.
But does it allow you to get to that cam or that bushing underneath it and lubricate that?
Oh yeah, but that you need grease for that. And she might not have grease.
Oh, and she ran the hairdryer over that, didn't she?
Yeah, she got some hairdryer in there and
So there is a third screw. If she goes and does this, there is a third screw that's holding that whole plate on. I'm working on that now.
oh boy.
To Peter's question earlier, has Aaron moved the selectors to the full extent of their range? In other words, the stitch counter from 0 to 20 and back again a couple of times. And
You can put your knobs back on without the front plate. You can just slide the knobs back.
Smoothly?
I still have my front plate on, and I can move those knobs just fine.
No, now, but go to each setting and then try to move your wheel again each time and then
each time I change the setting.
Yeah. Do you have any? Did you get more play in any of the other settings than others?
Not so far.
So one thing I can confirm, guys, is pulling this plate off doesn't give us any more access to lubricating things as we did before. I'm not going to take it all the way out just because I can't see. I can see that it's not the case.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was just a plate. So and so you're not getting any other kind of play. Try your top settings of left and right. Also your width, your stitch width.
That plastic dial right closest to her hand on the top is the one I would want to play with.
That is the width. That is the one that says it goes from a ... to a zigzag.
Okay, yeah. Because that goes right into that pile of gears, which is the first opportunity
the
to
needle
jam up.
position, the needle position was going.
Yeah, that one's all. Should be able to move it through all of them, and
So, and
yeah,
you're not getting any different play between the settings. No extra. Yeah, she's like going through everything.
Yeah, because I mean, you should be able to feel it, but
yeah, that's
the needle.
What?
The needle positioning one seems like it's harder to turn.
Harder to turn. Sometimes they are in what because you're not supposed to be in certain positions. It's a dummy switch. So, but but seeing how you said it would made it harder to change into, can you, yeah, and then you said, did it have any effect on what it did with your balance wheel?
No.
No.
Okay, can you pull your balance wheel out? No.
Yep.
And push it back in. Wait, oh, is it coming out? Is it starting to pop off?
It has no, even on mine, there's no way to pull it off the shaft anywhere right there. It has zero wiggling outward.
That is some kind of weird stuff there. That's because I would think there at least is a set pin somewhere.
Yeah,
on that.
let me, I'm gonna work on seeing if I can get that off.
So when you wind your bobbin, do you pull the balance wheel out so that the needle doesn't go up and down, or does your needle go up and down?
It automatically engages now when you put your bobbin into the wind mode. When you set it to the right, it usually engages automatically. So that's
your needle doesn't go up and down.
It basically is a clutch.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it here. I'll show it on mine. Ooh, that's just my face. Let's go to the other side. So yeah, what she's describing is this goes back and forth.
When she does that,
when you have it this way,
and there's there's that disc, that pressure pin that we had going down when you're saying it was moved in one way and not in another. Remember that thing that you moved your finger earlier. So what is it was so when you had that engaged, you can look down and you see that the pressure ring that you were hitting earlier with your finger and saying it would go down and go set into a it would fall into a place that it would move. You were saying Ethan, when you were saying about that little that little disc between the balance wheel and the that one, that's what the bobbin winder is engaging. If you look at it, so engage your bobbin winder and see how it connects to it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yep.
Okay, and so that is
yep. It disengages. Yep, I see what you're saying. It disengages this wheel.
And she said she's done that, and it doesn't disengage her wheel. So that was one of the.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, what I should say, this you keep calling it something, I forget what it's called.
Balance wheel.
The balance wheel is still directly connected to everything else here. So as even when the bobbin winder's in place to wind the bobbin engaged, this balance wheel is still connected to the rest of the machine.
Okay, then pull it off. Okay, so stop. Pull the balance. So take the balance wheel and see if you can pull it out a little farther. And that
there's zero play going outward this way.
And no inward.
Yep.
Okay, so.
Yep.
But that's where that should if your bobbin winder is engaged usually, but because it doesn't have a mechanism.
Just kidding. Comes off. Just got to pull harder. Okay.
So now, careful. It could fling out at you. Did a little ring, concave convex ring, pop out from your? No. Do you have a pin?
No spring washer. There's a pin and there's a C clip, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at yours. I'll stop talking.
Wait, does Aaron may not need to do this? Does Aaron need to do this?
We'll see in 1 second. Because
let me show you what I'm saying.
Ethan's being a trooper and he's taking it apart and willing to put it back together, so you don't have to.
Let me swap myself around here really quick. Okay, so we've got a pin that engages that. I think that's basically what does the rotation. It presses onto here, and then there's a little clip. So I can work on all those, getting all those out if we want, and then we can be able to take this off too.
Well, so rotate those each piece individually, because I see little notches that things can go into that stop it if it was in. So,
not really sure what you're saying.
Okay, so that's a C. And that, okay, that's there. Can I, you rotate you're just rotating the shaft there, right?
Yep. So because I have the bobbin winder engaged, just the shaft rotates. If I disengage it, I think the whole thing ought to rotate. Yep.
Yes. So that's right there is telling me something. She can't rotate at all. And so the shaft, she can't rotate. If she gets this, what would prevent that shaft from rotating? At, staying
Bobbin
by
winder.
itself.
Yep, the
Yeah, the
bobbin
bobbin
winder's not
winder,
doing
but
its thing.
it's, so where, check to see how that linkage moves through that and how that interacts and if it's interacting, because I'm,
Yeah. So what
okay,
you know,
so
like what you're saying is true. Basically, this moving the bobbin winder that way engages it with this flywheel that's connected to the motor with the belt, and disengages this whole shaft from this flywheel
through some mechanism that's below that plate that we can't see.
Yeah, I can't quite tell.
Yeah.
Or I think it moves this plate that we were talking about earlier.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it. Yep, that plate, that low plate that's down lower.
Yep.
So there's a friction wheel that comes over and spins the bobbin thing, and then below that plate there's a wheel that. Okay, there you go. It pushes that clutch in. There you go, just like that.
Exactly. It's just like a main clutch.
Yep.
Really quick, I'm gonna plug my phone in so I don't die here.
Yeah.
You guys can keep talking.
Plug your phone in.
So that white plastic spring-loaded semicircular disc that's inside the main flywheel disc.
Yep.
We played with that before, but we never were, because she was never able to turn it, we were never able to confirm that it actually had the locking clutch component part, right? Is that right, Barry Godstalker, who is now missing? Huh. So what we did in the breakout room is we figured out that when you push that white plastic, inner smaller white plastic disc in and turn the wheel, it will, if there's a point where it clicks, and then you can, because her wheel can't turn, we can't, hers just springs back and forth, back and
So
forth.
the question is, can she actuate, when they set it into bobbin mode, is it pushing that disc in on hers the way it is on his? And that's the first question.
Yes,
and then
it is.
It is. Okay. And then can you turn the wheel then?
No.
Okay. And so that
so it's really, honestly, I think we shouldn't focus on this because this shaft goes straight through this flywheel.
Yep.
And when it's in bobbin mode, this should be able to turn.
Right. And so what we're saying is that clutch is not engaging. When she puts it into bobbin mode, that shaft should spin. And if she puts it into bobbin mode, we don't know whether A, it's not going into bobbin mode. Way to tell. When you put it into bobbin mode, can you just push that with your finger and move that wheel? There you go. Okay. And on yours, does that do the same thing?
No, my wheel does
Aaron?
not. My wheel does not want to move.
Oh, so it's not this shaft. It's not this shaft.
Wait. No. Okay.
Yeah, but her wheel's not going to move if the shaft doesn't move.
Well, what I'm saying is it should. If the clutch is working, it should.
When the bobbin engages, it disengages this flywheel from the shaft.
Right. And there's nothing else attached to that flywheel except for the motor, of course.
The motor.
We've already ruled that out. So when you push that, when you put it into bobbin mode.
And I move manually, this will
it does move. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, I wanted to
All
see
right.
hers. Can I see hers? Okay.
I can get it to move there, but the handle.
Okay, so we know it's not the clutch.
And that rod
Yep.
is not moving when we took this belt
Yep.
off.
Yep.
It still had no wiggle room.
Yep.
So she pulls off her handle, and she can manually turn that black rod inside that we see Ethan moving back and forth to absolutely confirm that there's like.
So
well,
I took this off, and that same gear would not move. That
Right.
rod will not move.
So we're going to have to leverage off that that end piece and take a look to see if you have, the balance wheel knob, right there. If you put the screwdriver in and make it go to the other side of, just down the side, and no, not like that, not go push past it. We're going to use it as a lever. So put the neck of the put it in the center of your screwdriver, put the knob at this, put that area right at the center of your screwdriver. Tilt your, go 45-degree angle up with your screwdriver, point it upwards, and then run it down the side, of it, and we're going to use it as leverage. Down, not that way, straight down. There you go.
She got it.
So now hold that, and it's not moving at all right there, not even when she does the clutch.
Yeah,
So,
but when she does the clutch, that just disengages.
Okay, so now we're going to WD-40 the crap out of that part and see, because it has to be there. There's.
No, I think it could be elsewhere. You know,
can? Do you think it's down?
Could be. I think it'd be along the shaft.
It's somewhere along the shaft, or I think perhaps in the vertical part by the needle, that whole shaft as well.
Yeah, but but the movement of her not being able to move immediately, it has to travel down all those cranks and shafts have to travel. So if it's just so quickly, it's really.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
That
suggestion should be earlier. Yep.
Although I've seen machines where, as you translate that rotational motion of the motor to linear motion, that one of those sliding pieces along the shaft or in the up and down part, where it just gets so wedged.
I mean, that's what I thought. I thought it was going to be a wedging of the I want to see where the hook is. I want to see where the hook is. Oh, it could be the cog underneath. Underneath that, the needle plate on the back side. Remember those last two screws we had you do, Ethan, that give you access to right under that, the bobbin. So that access, right there, right under there. No, just tilt it up, and let's see under it.
Yep.
Right there. So there is right in there. There's some cogs, and is it all crusty? Is that?
Well, these ones we already determined. She can spin this shaft once she takes this belt off.
Yeah.
So it couldn't be in here. The problem couldn't be in there.
So,
Aaron, is that right? Can you confirm that?
Yes.
That you can spin the bottom half? Oh.
We took the little belt off and it spun just fine.
And the motor spun fine.
No resistance at all.
So she should see the same thing I'm seeing. So
yeah. Now I'd start working backwards now just for the movement. So we've taken that out. So grab the bottom of the shaft of that. Follow the belt around to what it hits next, which is that up and down motion that moves that.
Yeah, it'd be this.
But she's locked. She's locked here. That she is locked up at this point. So down that shaft, oiling down those shafts right there.
I feel like it could possibly be.
Hit the reverse. Hit your reverse button. And hit your reverse button. See if you can move when you hit your reverse button.
Yeah, I mean, I will be able to.
Yeah, you do. But if she's holding her reverse, if you're holding your reverse button, you can't move anything at all. It doesn't move at all. Again, if you're holding down the reverse button.
See, my reverse button doesn't go quite as far as his does.
Okay.
Oh, that's a hint.
Yeah, so now move your balance wheel while you're pushing that up and down. Try to move it at least. Okay, not even anyway. It doesn't. No, not at all.
Does it feel like they're connected when you try to push down your reverse direction and you try to turn that shaft? Can you feel anything between your hands?
Yep.
Nothing.
No, I feel as if they're not connected. They're not associated.
Feels like a rock. Okay.
Yeah.
So why doesn't her reverse button go down more?
Stuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
That might be a hint.
Yeah, because that in industrial machines, as you get smaller and smaller on your go and turn your stitch length to the highest length to turn it to the not length, not width. You want the length, the one that's in the front. That the top one on the front. Let's put that one, and turn it all the way over to the longest stitch you can do.
Yep.
Aaron, you
okay.
were trying to tell us something before they ordered you to do this. What were you trying to tell us?
When he was pushing that reverse button, can I see the inside? It looked like something was moving, and I don't think it's moving on mine.
Yeah, so on mine, it's a little hard to see. It's way far down in there.
Yeah, but I saw it.
There's a piece that it's just got a slot in it, and it moves along, and it connects some other little rod.
Oh,
Looks like you can see that from the bottom.
I now can see it, and mine is moving.
Actually, you might be able to see it through this stitch selection.
You know what? I was putting more oil over here, and I think my reverse button is going down farther.
Oh, there you go.
Because on industrial machines, as you get smaller and smaller in the stitches, your ability to push your reverse button down gets
less and less.
Gets less and less, and so it's like, so with your stitch length all the way over, you can't get any movement at all. Still with your shaft.
No.
Huh. This is just okay.
If she hasn't lubricated up here yet, I think it might be worth it.
Yeah, I lubricated over there, and I thought that's why I was getting the movement, not knowing that it was actually the.
Okay, so now this is where we would tell you to. I might want you to slip the set screw. Slip the set screw on the needle bar to see if that's the problem. But I would have then that would mean a whole massive amount of timing issues, and you need two different tools. You'll need a hex bolt, a hex screw, and another two different sizes of hex screws, I believe. For one
No,
for this
but
one.
let's not go there, Cece,
I know.
just yet.
I'm just saying that
Yeah.
that would be the next place to see. I would take my screwdriver and I would see if I could make any movement happen in the rod. Right there, right there. That's where I would like put a screwdriver and see if I could tap it if it's moving any. Yeah. See if it's moving. If I tap my. She says there's no connection between it's between her balance wheel and the shaft already. She says that's nothing. So,
To be fair, this is a little hard to do on mine in certain spots too. So
yeah. So as I said, you can just drop it down, drop the oil down the screwdriver.
See, when I push this, that moves. If that's helpful at all.
That's your left and right. That's your zigzag motion. Okay, so now you know that left and right and that up and down. See where that set screw is right above where your finger is. Yeah, towards the front. Yeah, lift your finger up about an inch. There you go. That right there. Take a look in there and see if you can put your screwdriver in there and see if there's any movement in that just by tapping it up and down.
Maybe oil that too?
Yeah, you did oil that. Yeah, she did oil it. And so just, I would stick it in and just do a rocking, stick it all the way back and just rock it back and forth, not right there. Use it as a lever and stick it in one of those holes, one of the 4 holes that are right around that pin. It's slots. You see towards the back, get in between the biggest part. Okay. Ethan, do you understand what I'm saying? How to?
No, I don't.
Okay, so if she
You're trying to
puts
get that vertical thing to move?
Yes.
You want
to put a screwdriver on top of it and tap it.
Yeah.
If she wants to go just up here, she could tap it.
Yeah, tap.
Down. But like I said, it's fairly hard to move compared to the shaft on mine even.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. If she taps it, can she feel anything? And
go down on that.
It's only certain spots that I have it in that it allows me to move it down. If I'm at the top or the bottom of the stroke, very difficult to do. I don't know where hers is stuck, but
it's that's what I'm trying to determine. Do you see the set screw in the center of hers? Can you point yours to that set screw?
You talking about this one?
Yeah, and let me see yours screen. Let's see. How do I do that? My mom is outside waiting for me. Okay, so okay, so you see between see if you can have her do that exactly what you were just doing. See if she can and use it as a lever.
So this is the only spot that would do that. These two are coupled together.
No, they're
So
not.
she's
They're two separate things. Those are two separate things. They're set two different ways. One is how much it limits how far you go up on your take-up lever, and the
Sure.
other one is your needle going up and down that shaft. So if she loosens the one below it, which as I said, you need two Allen wrenches of two different sizes for this part if you're going to do this, and you check to see if the needle bar is going up and down, and that's what that whole long shaft is a needle bar, and you want to see if it's going up and down once you loosen the bottom.
Yeah, but that's going to
screw.
throw her timing too, right?
It is. That's what I was going to say. We don't want to do that.
Yeah. No, I think what we want to do now, if we were going to if you have to go, CC, Aaron, you kind of see what we're trying to do. Like, yeah, if somehow you can make that play occur, or I would.
That's where it doesn't want to move at all. Like
There's another spot that I want to check that you've lubricated. It's right here where there's a little arm in here that connects to this flywheel, and where it rotates.
Okay. Yep.
Would be a spot to oil. Maybe you've already done it, but
nope. I did that one. So I just
okay. It's right here beyond that black screw.
Yep.
Would be worth trying.
I think we.
Anything else?
Aaron, I think it's great if you just like if we just for the next couple of weeks just play with this a little bit, or maybe just an hour from now. Like I think we're
just
gonna
a little bit more oil.
Yeah, I can.
Another spot I'm seeing, Aaron, could be worth oiling.
Yep.
Right in here where this arm connects to this whole vertical assembly.
Yep. Okay.
Not just oiling. You may want to get some penetrating.
Yep.
Some penetrating.
Yeah.
You'll do that, but make sure before you start cranking everything howdy-doody that you have to clear that all off and re-oil it with machine oil before you start going crazy. But it will help, and maybe some more heat on it.
Okay.
So that bar that goes up and down.
This one?
No, the metal bar. That it's a tube.
The needle bar.
Needle bar, yes. So if you follow the needle bar down, there's a piece of metal below that one bushing. Can you point to that, Aaron?
I'm not sure what you're.
Go to the needle bar.
This one.
Go to the needle bar, the shaft,
and the shaft, the needle shaft.
The needle shaft, yeah, they're right
you
there.
See that piece of metal sitting there? Go up a bit. It's almost like a hex that it goes up and down. Yes. If you put a screwdriver on top of that and tap on that, will it go down?
No, that's the bearing, I think.
You're saying here.
Bearing.
No, go down further. Go down about 3 or 4 inches. Yeah, right there.
Right here?
No, higher up.
Right on top of that one.
Right on top of that.
Right
yes,
there.
That. You can push that down that way.
For me, again, this is one spot where if I'm at top dead center or bottom dead center, it's very hard to move. If I'm not, then it's pretty easy to move.
Yes, but so she may want to try to see if she can get that to move up and down.
Yep. Yeah. So if I'm not at top dead center, that's takes a little bit of force, but it works pretty well. And I even think you could hammer that and not do too much damage.
Yeah. Because if she can get that moving, that may free up everything.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, it may be even just the best spot to apply force to break something free somewhere else.
Yeah, that one right there, and put a hammer on top of it.
Just hold it still. Hold that screwdriver still, and just tap it very slightly with a hammer on the back side of it. You don't have to go up and down with it. You just
on the handle part, tap it with a hammer.
Tap the handle with.
Yeah. Like you're driving a nail.
Okay, I'll have to go get a hammer.
A little tiny nail.
First.
Don't hit it too hard.
Okay. Let me get a hammer. I'll be right back.
Now, it looks like she's in a good spot, looking at mine, to be able to apply some force there, because that means she's not at top dead center.
She's not at top dead center. I was going to ask if we could figure that out.
It looks like. I didn't get a
position.
close look. I didn't get a close look, but.
Yep.
This is turning into an epic repair.
One of the things that I've
glad
seen.
to help.
One of the things I've seen a couple times that are absolutely awesome is having the exact same thing available right next to the one you're trying to fix. Oh God, does it make a difference?
Yeah, yeah.
Ethan's being a trooper, I have to say. I mean, I would have gone and run down to the storage, but as I said, I'm trying to put a loft in.
I'm glad I can be a second set of eyes and especially camera here.
Very cool.
Oh, she's got a sledge.
Adjust your camera. Adjust your camera, Aaron. Adjust your camera so we can see what's going on. Okay,
I want to document this.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, careful. Okay.
Nice and easy. It's a little nail.
It's not moving.
I really
It's
think
not
she could
doing
do it. I really think she could do it harder. This is all metal right in here. I mean, I would give it. We might
on
want
the
to take
nut or the part underneath. Yeah, but see, this could be fixed by lubrication too. She should make sure this is well lubed if she's doing this. Is that shaft well lubed?
I've put a lot of the oil that
Okay.
I have.
Okay.
And you put that oil above where your screwdriver is, right? So that little block above your screwdriver. Yep, that the shaft passes through. Yeah, that's the bearing or the bushing.
Now there is another bushing further down.
Yep.
It might be very hard to
I
see.
can actually see that I put oil. Like there's still oil around it.
Yep.
There's another one further down that would be worth doing too.
Yep. Down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now is she hammering on the hex nut or she's hammering on the thing below the hex nut?
That's a good thing to confirm. It would be make sure if you can copy mine if you see it.
Right on this.
Yeah. So she doesn't have this other part that I have here. It looks like she just has this one.
Yeah, I've noticed that seemed to be extra.
That's just a feature difference between our machines, but so she's hammering on that one. Seems about right, but
and nothing.
He doesn't want to move.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're way ahead of where we were when we started.
I think
she's got the
as long
machine
as
open. We kind of
Learned a
know
lot.
which part, Aaron.
Oops, sorry, my Google's going.
Yeah, don't use the C word because that's the wake up word for my Amazon.
What did you say, Ethan? Sorry, Aaron. What were you trying to tell us, Aaron?
No, I just said I learned a lot. I've learned a lot about lubing. I had no idea you were supposed to oil it. And just about the different parts.
Yeah.
And you might still get this thing working
Absolutely.
An hour after we're done here, go make dinner or whatever. Go get a drink, get a beer with your husband.
Yeah.
Leave it out like this and revisit it every now and then. And some miraculous. So many times, just the laying on hands. But you have to even done more than that.
Okay.
And the lube.
Lost you there, Howard.
She froze. You froze for a second there.
You did too, Howard, so it might be you.
It's me. Yeah.
Yeah, what were you saying, Howard?
Just that the oil takes a while. It sometimes you put it on, it just takes a while to kind of sink into things and yep. We see that all the time.
Are we as far as we want to go then? Anything else we should?
I think so. I think you guys have been very helpful. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to help me.
All right. Thanks, Erin.
Yes, no, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Good luck with all your other fix-its.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
She's pretty amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great.
Now Ethan has to put his machine back.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I was gonna ask when we pulled off that belt. Somebody mentioned that it might cause a timing issue.
Nope.
Is that not a concern? It's the feed dogs. Can't even see myself anymore. Let's see.
Well, he's gone, and Ethan and Cece swears that says it wouldn't.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I believe her. Then. I just would think that if this is at a certain spot, the feed dogs are at a different spot.
But you don't care about the feed dogs, do you?
Yeah, I do. I want them to feed at the right time between the needles up. So I can figure that out. I just wondered if anybody had any quick way.
Yeah.
You can always bring it back to another Fix-It clinic.
Well,
No, I
there's a
was supposed
limited
to do
number
one
of
fixing
cogs
thing.
on that belt, on that shaft. So if it's off, you move it one cog. If that doesn't work, you move it another cog.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. It's no problem.
All right. Well, we had about 4 more people that were going to sign on, but I haven't heard anything from them.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch you there.
Oh, my internet is giving me issues. Can you guys hear me now?
It's cutting in and out.
All right.
Saying you don't have anybody else?
About 4 more people.
We lost you there.
My goodness.
Still having troubles hearing you.
Is it any better now? Ethan, I assume that's your wife's machine and she's not at home, right?
Sorry, what?
That's your wife's machine and she's not at home.
It's literally my machine.
Oh, okay, you're good.
Yeah.
It's always, the wife comes out and says, what?
Yeah, don't you hate when you do that? You're like, you're tweaking something to make it a little better, and then you like go too far, and then you break it. It's like, oh.
Yep.
You know, they say the enemy of good is perfect.
Yep.
Can you guys hear me better now?
Wedged.
So were we clear on whether we were waiting for somebody or were we waiting for her to get back on?
Can you guys hear me now?